How's it going, folks? Today we're talking about the current state of the Pokemon market. We're going to talk about a bit of what the market looked like when I first joined Pokemon. We're going to talk about the market as it currently is, and then a little bit of what the future is going to look like with the market. So, to start, when I first got into Pokemon, it was around mid-COVID, maybe 2021. Prices of packs were typically around $5. You could find them for less if you really did your digging, but typically on the open market, $5 Canadian per pack was like the golden standard. So booster boxes were around $180 because you got 36 boxes per pack. If you wanted to buy in bulk, you could get prices of booster boxes down to about like $150 to $130 on the very low end. Unless the store was really trying to liquidate, you could maybe get prices of your boxes down to $100, which was crazy and was kind of happening for some booster boxes, especially some of the ones that weren't selling as well. So for example, Battle Styles was just sitting on shelves. I think you could find it for about $120 for like the longest time. A lot of stores went down to like 100. Maybe they even sold it for less. But when Battle Styles first came out, it was kind of, I don't know if short printed is the right word, but that's when demand started to go a little crazy. That's when Logan Paul started getting into Pokemon and there was a bit of a Pokemon boom. So even Battle Styles was hard to find for a bit, and it was going for a little over what, MSRP, which is the manufacturer's suggested retail price, what Pokemon would say boxes should sell for. Like Battle Styles was going for more than that, and Battle Styles people thought was like not the greatest set. You also had sets like Vivid Voltage that now people think Vivid Voltage is a terrible set, but at the time you couldn't find Vivid Voltage, so that was going for a lot of money. So we're seeing similar stuff to today's market, where now you have a set like, I don't know, Phantasmal Flames comes out. It seems very hyped up, so people start spending lots of money thinking it's not going to be available, but then people end up realizing, oh, maybe the set's not as good because it's not as big. You can hit all of the chases. There still is the big Charizard card, but everything else in the set is starting to fall off, so maybe the set isn't as hot as people anticipated. Maybe people overbought, so we're starting to see supply kind of get back up there, demand start to drop, so now the market's slowly doing a bit of a shift compared to where it was at the start of the year, sort of thing, which is similar to what we saw 4 years ago. You had these sets that, obviously every set that comes out, it's got cool cards and stuff, but there's always going to be more sets, there's always going to be cards. So now, things are starting to equal out a bit. Prices still aren't anywhere near what they were like back when I started, or even before the boom of last year, but they're definitely cooling off a little from what they kind of were. Pre-orders of Phantasmal Flames were selling for like $450 a booster box. Now you're getting it down to like $300 a booster box maybe, or at least your price per pack on the open market is a little less than $11, $10. So we're slowly getting down there. I feel like I'm throwing just a lot of information out there. There's kind of so much to kind of, digest. The main thing I'm trying to say is that the market has ebbs and flows, and right now we're just in another part of what's probably called the market correction a little bit. So at the start of this year, Prismatic Evolutions came out. Surging Sparks had also just released. Everything was going crazy. Journey Together came. That sold out quickly, but then some more stock came in, and then prices started to cool down, and then Destined Rivals came out, and the prices of the sealed booster boxes, which are great for investing, those are still up. But the prices per loose pack through different collection boxes or whatever, those are starting to come down a little bit. Mega Evolution and Phantasmal Flames, good sets, but not the pinnacle of things like Destined Rivals. Those are starting to drop a little bit as well. So we're starting to see some of that cooling off. However, Ascended Heroes is a new set that Pokemon announced, and we just had pre-orders show up on Pokemon Center for that. That set looks like it's going to perform very well over time. We just had a bunch of leaks of what cards are going to show up in the set. So it seems like the Christmas set, the holiday set this year for Japan, which is Mega Dream EX, that's translating into the English Ascended Heroes set. That's going to come out in January. That set is going to be Prismatic Evolution levels of exclusive, fun to open, extremely expensive chase cards. There's so much going on with that set. It seems like it's going to be a real winner. Similar to Crown Zenith, when that set came out, it had so much going for it, so many cool cards. Just seems like it'll do really well over time. So the market's cooling off a bit. Now we have this other really cool set dropping. Who knows where that's going to be, if things are going to be sold out instantly. There are no booster boxes for the set, so Elite Trainer boxes are going to be the main source of getting packs, as well as the main source of having a consolidated item to put in your investing portfolio. Anyone who's trying to invest in Ascended Heroes are basically going to buy the Elite Trainer boxes or the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, which is basically the Elite Trainer box just with an extra stamped card on the inside, an extra little design on the front of the box itself. But basically you just have these two boxes as your big investing pieces. So that's going to look great. The release for that set is a bit staggered. So you have some products with some packs, like some random blister packs or collection boxes. Then you have the Elite Trainer boxes coming later, then a few other products. So if they have the release delayed by the different products that are coming out, then you might see people kind of get some of the packs early, start scalping them. Then everyone's going to think there's scarcity of the set. Then the Elite Trainer boxes come out, so then everyone's going to try to buy out all of those from all the stores. So then those might get not only bought out, but then also become scarce on the open market. So then everyone's going to have issues getting those. Again, I think it's going to do great long term, but we might get to a point where everything gets bought out. The set is going to be in print for a couple years, so we might have different opportunities to buy back in at a lower cost. So it might not be worth, FOMOing and getting crazy about the prices and buying a whole bunch right away. If you find them for the right price, could be a great buy. I would say don't get scared and try to buy a bunch early on to hold long term. Wait until you find a good price, because again, there's so many different Pokemon sets. Pokemon's got to print a certain amount of certain things that there's always going to be windows of buying opportunities. So I think the main thing is, especially with newer stuff, don't buy in at crazy prices when it's early. You should have opportunities to at least make smart plays or informed decisions. Don't jump all in just because something's new. All the new stuff does look great though, but yeah, just try to be conscious and cognizant of what the prices you want to pay for should be on some of these newer products. The yearly, or not the yearly, but the cycle of rotation of when products go out of print typically have to align, or Pokemon tries to have them align with when the cards can be used for play. And within a set's print run, the cards from a set are typically allowed in standard format for play for about 3 years. Once you hit that 3-year window, that's typically where we see packs from certain sets stop appearing in certain collection boxes. We start seeing these packs and boxes not really appear from distributors and things. So typically a 2 to 3 year window is when you can expect to see a new set start to not be publicly available anymore, and that's when the prices start to climb. So certain sets like 151 and Paldean Fates, those are going to start going out of stock even more. They're already out of stock at a lot of places, so whenever places do get some stock of them, they seem to sell out very quickly. Prismatic Evolutions, which is, in my head, the current best set of the modern era, maybe besides 151, but I think Prismatic Evolutions might catch up without people realizing it. Prismatic Evolutions is a year old, Once it gets to about 2 years old, that's when we might see some drastic climbs. Right now, though, Prismatic Evolutions is having a bit of restocks and resurfacing in some Costco's and stuff, so we're seeing the prices drop a little bit. So now is actually a great time to buy into Prismatic if you're able to see some deals out there. I've been seeing some deals, and I think it's just it's too good not to be investing in Prismatic Evolutions right now. So yeah, that's about how Pokemon's printing certain things. So yeah, I think that might be about it for today. This was just kind of a bit of a where's the market at? What's an update? What does the outlook of things look like? These videos, I'm hoping to make them more, hoping to have maybe a bit more of a focus to the videos and, you know, certain things to be talking about. But because I'm just starting, I'm doing a bit of rambling as well as trying to genericize a whole bunch of everything at once. But we'll get there as we go. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hope you found this video useful. We'll catch you later. Take care.